Hello everybody, it's time again for Cooking with James, and today's meal is going to be a cottage pie. So I decided not to film potato cutting, partly because I cut my finger and it's still a bit cut and everything, so I didn't need to show you all my cut finger as it's not going to look very good. But the potatoes are cut. I got a new knife, you see, which did a very good job with the potatoes. It slices right through. In fact, I'll show you with one hand how good it is. So, look. There. A very good knife, so you can see it's a lot better than the old one. So anyway, we'll now pop the potatoes into the pan. And I've filled a bit less water this time as well, because last time, if you remember, I put a bit too much in and ended up with a bit of a flood. So I'm going to pop these in now. In the background you can hear Swansea v Cardiff, which is currently 1-0 to Swansea. So I just thought I'd pop that on as well. And potato there. And cottage pie is basically kind of like making bolognese in a sense, just with slightly different ingredients basically. Well, I think the same ingredients, just it's a bit more sort of meaty and vegetable-y rather than sort of herbs and tomato-y, I believe. So it'll be a nice little meal to make, and hopefully this time I can mash potatoes well rather than what was I going to say? Rather than sort of making hash of it. Now there's potatoes in, so I'll wait for them to cook now. So we're now just leaving the potatoes to simmer for about 20 minutes or so, and then I'll get the mashing done. So at the same time, I'm going to start making the mince and sauce, etc. So here is a bit of oil, as usual. It's quite enough. I'll spread that around, then it'll be time to add in the veg to start with. So I've added some butter to the mash. I'm going to now add a bit of milk as well to make it nice, and I'm going to mash it all up together. So there's a bit of milk there, should be just about enough to make it nice and mashable. So just doing a bit of mashing here of the potato. Nice and mash. It's going actually a lot better. The trick with potatoes I've found is you can't really overcook them, so you keep them as long as you can really, and it makes them nice and tender. In the past, what I've done, mistake I've made has been to not put them in long enough, and they're still quite sort of hard and not quite nice and tender. These ones here have literally just been almost mashed already. They've been that tender, and then it's just required a little bit of pushing. And you can see here, already come. I've got a bit of work to do still. It's not yet done, but it's come along very nicely, and it will make a nice little cottage for the pie, or pie for the cottage, whichever way around it goes. I've got the carrots, onions, and a little bit of garlic added in here. So I'm going to stir these now until they sort of soften up a bit. Then it's time to add in the mince that I've got. Okay, a little bit of stir, keep them going. Got the mince here, it's going to cut that all up, of course, and wait for that to brown over. There's the nicely browned meat, and then some passata to go on top for the sort of tomatoey sauce. All that nice passata. That's everything, just flip it that way, just to get the rest of it out. Yep, just the dregs, there we are. And then we have a stock go in as well. Also add in some good old Worcestershire sauce. Bit of a splash there, there we are. And just keep stirring it all together. We're getting a nice little mix here going on. Mix everything in, give it a nice good stir. And so far, not many explosions over the worktop either, or over the hob rather either, so far, which is always a good sign. So some recipes say to put in wine, red wine, I've not got any red wine on me currently, so that's no go. But to sort of boost sauce a bit, I'm going to add a bit of water in. A little bit. Not a lot, just a little bit, just to sort of tide it over a bit. And then we'll just sort of beef the sauce up a little bit. And then once that's gone to boil, we'll leave it to simmer for about 4 to 5 minutes or so. And then we're ready to go into the oven with the mash on top. So while it's all simmering, I'm walking to the nearest shop to see if I can find a little bit of plaster to put onto my cut finger. The shop has a minimum £5 transaction for paying by card, and as someone who doesn't carry cash, I of course had to spend £5, and the plasters I've got cost me 89p. So what I did was I got a bottle of rosé, which I'll have at some point. So I've just popped the sauce into this little dish here. I was meant to film pulling it into the dish, but it went wrong somehow. So here we are. So there's the sauce, and then in a second I'll add in the mash. And here we have the mash, which are going to go onto the potatoes here. And I'll obviously spread it out a little bit. There we are. Maybe I needed more potatoes for this mash, potentially. Now I think about it. There's definitely a bit more of the sauce than the mash itself, which is a bit of a shame, but never mind. It's going to taste good. Scrape it all out, scrape it all out. Come on, James, you can do this. You got this. Make it nice. Oh. Not sure it'll be the best cottage pie I've ever made, but I think the sauce is going to be good. And yeah, fingers crossed. Well, it's probably as good as I'll get it in terms of the mash. If I put some cheese on as well, and so now it's be time to add it into the oven for about 20 minutes, and then it'll be done. And there is the completed cottage pie. Doesn't look overly great, but yeah, that's it. Although, in fairness, when you pop on the plate, it looks a little bit better. So I'm relatively happy with that, relatively. Thank you for watching another episode of Cooking with James, where I've made a cottage pie and also cut my finger and brought a bottle of rosé and had a wonderful time.